It's on. Ladies, yeah. We got him now. We got, because he got imposters. When you're a superstar like Louis Guzman, you got like Louis Guzman 101, Louis Guzman from the hood, Louis Guzman for the, you got people trying to be you on the Instagram, but we got to find the original. ¿Qué pasa, Wody? What's up, Lou?
How are you, bro? A blessing to you.
Yo, Louis Guzman, we love you. You've been in the game for 40 years. You've kept it true to your roots. You've always been a real one. If they don't know you, they know you. We've seen you in so many TV shows, so many movies. An incredible actor. And me personally, I want to thank you before we go on, because many years ago when I first came out, I shot my second video and I had asked you to get in the video, and you did it for me. And you was already a huge star, huge success. And he said, here goes this little Puerto Rican brother trying to make it. Because at the time, I was a little Puerto Rican brother. We didn't know that Joe was going to make it big. And you came through for me. And I've always been in debt to you for that. And I ain't going to lie to you. Every time I see you in person, it touches the back of the brain like, wow, this man was here for me when I need him and I first started. And I appreciate you for that. And I'm always in debt to you for that.
Well, my brother, I just want to tell you, I'm proud of you. I remember how we all came up back, and this, I checked out a few, and I'm happy that you're doing this for the community, especially in these times. But we got a good history, and we're going to keep it moving. Absolutely.
Lou, let me tell you, you look great, bro. You look fucking great. I'm not going to lie to you. Now you're looking great. You're looking better than ever right now. I'm not lying to you. I don't know what you've been doing in COVID. How you been maintaining to keep the weight down during COVID, staying safe?
Well, right now I'm in North Carolina and I'm shooting a show. And it's really, I get COVID tested every 3 days. I have to deal with like social distancing, which is huge here. I really don't go out anywhere. So I go to work and I come home, and I do a lot of cooking. Here at home, I do yoga, brother. I do stretching, I dance in the kitchen. I keep myself active. You know what I mean?
Lou, to your credit,
go off to the races.
Lou, to your credit, you've been in the game over 40 years. At one time, people shied away from being Boricua, from being Puerto Rican, or being black. If you was light-skinned enough to say you was white, they was doing that. If you was Puerto Rican and you didn't want to be that, and you want to be something else, you would say you something else, right? But you never shied away from that. You always said, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm from New York, and I'm proud of it, at a time when nobody was breaking down doors like that. What was that like, and what made you say, I mean, obviously you look Boricua, but what made you say, yo, I'm going to wave this flag and I'm going to be who I am? Because a lot of our people try to be something else to get accepted.
Well, I think the beautiful thing about our people, about Boricuas in general, we are a very diversified race, man, because, we carry a African DNA, a European DNA, and a Caribbean DNA, and so, brother, I got to tell you, man, people have asked me, am I Cuban? Am I Colombian? Am I Mexican? Am I from Venezuela? Stuff like that. So I just try. I mean, look, first of all, I'm proud to be Boricua, Puerto Rican. I was born in Puerto Rico, raised in New York City, But the thing is that I reflect a whole Latin nation pretty much, We've done all those roles, and, I give a lot of credit to people like Raul Julia, because he opened a lot of doors back in the day. He was a phenomenal actor, Boricua, but the man knew Shakespeare. He did a great movie, Kiss of the Spider Woman, back in the day. Another one, Rita Moreno. So there's like a lot of people that, when I came onto the scene back in like 1985, feels like 400 years ago, we were always the drug dealers and the matadores, stuff like that, you know. So little by little, I grew out of that, you know, because people, I guess, you know, directors and producers, they just saw my ability and stuff like that, you know, and so I champion, you know, to be diverse in the acting world and stuff like that. You know, one question that people always ask me is like, when is Hollywood going to give Latinos a break? And brother, I've heard that for so long, for so long. I don't even answer that question anymore because it's on us to give ourselves a break. At the we you know we have writers, we have directors, actors. You know what we need is among our own people. It's like, yo, put up the money here, go do a movie, boom. You know, because we're talented. You know, I
That's
don't
where
know.
we at. That's where we at with it right now, Louis. Like I got a movie sold to our Warner brother. It's called King Kato, and it's based on my man from Chicago, who he eventually got killed by El Chapo. And it's a long story, but that's where we at now. That's where I feel you're at. We at, and we gotta take the baton and take it another level and start shooting our own series, our own movies, our own. This is the time right now to get that done.
Yeah, because you know, like I started a production company recently with my son Semi, called Dark Rabbit Pictures, and right now our first project is going to be finishing a documentary that I shot. I went homeless for 3 days in New York City in March, and I lived in the street because I just wanted to give a face to homeless people, you know, and probably the hardest thing I ever did, brother. The first night I slept in the street. The second night I slept in the shelter. You know, so we're
Did
working
they notice you, Louis, at all? Did they notice you?
first in 3 days, brother. What? Because you know I grew my beard. I had these like thick frame glasses and stuff. You know who noticed me more than people? Dogs. People, dogs. They would growl at me. They would bark at me. You know.
Lou. I often drive past homeless people and see people talking to themselves and see them there, and it tears my heart apart because for one, mental illness. For two is everybody has their own unique story, and we judge them all as a population.
Yeah.
I mean, what are some of the realest things you learned doing this documentary that surprised you?
Number one, how lonely it is to be among thousands of people and feel lonely and to feel by yourself and to feel that the only person you have to talk to is you. Because when you're walking down the street and people see a homeless person, they turn their head. I felt that. Um, I got delirious the second day, and I made a sign. I sat on the steps of the New York Public Library, and I made a sign in cardboard, and the sign said, "I see you, see me," you know. And this little old lady was walking into the library. She stopped. She looked down at me, and she said, "I see you." That one person made my day, you know. And and I showed a rough cut of the documentary in a few places, and so many people have walked up with like tears in their eyes, saying, "Yo, I've been going."
Powerful, because it's something we've all thought about. It's the elephant in the room. It's something we've all looked. If we're compassionate, if we love people, if we're about human beings, we look at it and we just say, "Coño, what happened? What made this person snap? Why are they like that? Are they all drug addicts? Are they all drunks?"
They're not. You know what people don't realize is, there's like a lot of people that take care of their parents, of their elderly parents, and they don't work. You know, they're home taking care of the parents, living off their social security or their pension, and when those parents die, and that person doesn't have a job, they get evicted, and those people end up homeless. You know, and there's also people that go through psychological stuff. You know, they go through mental breakdowns, and they either get kicked out of their house or they just don't go home because it's like, you know, there's nothing to go home to. You know, all homeless people are not addicts, are not alcoholics. You know, there's like a lot of psychological stuff, social.
You know, I be feeling bad, Louis, because sometimes I'm at the light, homeless guys asking for money. I'm in a Rolls Royce. You know, I used to be in the streets. I used to hustle. The last thing I'm gonna do is give him some money so he could go buy some crack or some heroin. Um, and sometimes I feel bad about it because I got a pocket full of money, and I'm like, and my daughter always tells me, "Your dad, you want to give," and you know, I got like a no tolerance policy of giving somebody money to use drugs, whether it's a family member, it's a brother, it's a, you know, and I'm conflicted at those times.
Well, you know what I do in those situations. You know, if at all possible, I ask somebody, "Yo, you want to eat? Can I get you something to eat?" You know, if I had hat and gloves on, my hat, you want my gloves, you know, because it's real easy for me to go get something, get another pair.
Yo, Lou, let me ask you something. Did anybody pass you anything to eat while you did the documentary?
Say that again?
Did anybody give you something to eat? Did anybody walk up with a Burger King or a McDonald's and say, "Here, bro, you hungry?"
I was walking down the street. I saw a guy with a pizza box. And I go, "Yo, can I have that?" The guy didn't even look at me. He gave me the pizza box. There were 2.5 slices there. It was cold, but that was the best pizza I ever had in my life, bro.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing. You grew up Lower East Side, right?
Lower East Side, yeah. Well, I grew up, I was born in Puerto Rico. Then, you know, my family, we lived in Cortona Park in the South Bronx for a minute.
That's where I'm from.
And then from there, we went to Chelsea. We lived in Chelsea for a bit. And then we lived in the West Village from like 1960 to 1969. And then 1969, my family moved to Lower East Side, and we've been there since.
A lot of drugs out there. A lot of everything. Lower East Side, people don't understand. That was actually the hub of the whole entire drug trade in New York City. They would feed the rest of the city with drugs, and because it was close to, you know, whatever. And what was it like to chase your dream of being an actor and not getting caught in that life? Because growing up in the Lower East Side, you walk right out the door and your boys are making money. You walk outside the door, your boys are getting high. What was that like to dodge that life?
Well, you know, look, I wasn't perfect, you know, because I used to dip and dab. I never dealt though, you know. But my thing was that I just that nobody ever retired from being a drug dealer. Nobody retired with a pension from being a drug dealer. And you know, you used to see, man, you know, guys that grew up together start taking each other out because people get greedy for money and stuff like that. It's like, you know, I just didn't want that kind of life. And plus, I had a conscience, you know. I used to hang out a lot at the New York Poets Cafe, back at the original one, back in the day. You know, I had people like Chino Garcia, who was a community activist, who to this day is one of my mentors. You know, so I hung out with community activists. I hung out with poets. I hung out with musicians. Yeah, smoke my weed. You know, I drink my wild Irish back in those days, stuff like that. But I just never gravitated to, you know, dealing drugs because my conscience it was, yo, we're killing our own people. You know, this is like we're creating genocide. We're putting genocide on ourselves. You know, so I didn't shift to that. You know, because again, my conscience was pretty clear and stuff. Like acting, I tell you, bro, acting, it was an accident. I was a social worker at Henry. One day, a couple of kids didn't show up to my program. Went out into the street looking for them. I ran into Miguel, who I hadn't seen in years, and he told me, "Ready for a TV show? Why don't you see get apart?" I didn't think nothing of it. I went in. 3 weeks later, I'm co-starring in Miami. And Joe, this is the God honest truth. All I wanted was enough money to buy a car drive to Orchard Beach on the weekends and not have to take the train and the bus. I swear, if that's what I would have done, that's all I would have done.
So let me ask you something, look, Louis. So you so you was one of the what? You was in Section 5, Orchard Beach, on a Sunday. You was in there.
Yeah, that's it, baby.
Yo, they was throwing down. You got the Acapurias, you got the Mirawas, you got the
Oh,
South Side, you got the.
Oh yeah, and we go and wait for the sun to go down because we have to sober up for the drive back.
You know, Louis. Also, the elephant in the room is we can talk about everything. You've done everything from Narcos to Boogie's Nights to Taking the Pelham to The Bone Collector, Puerto Ricans in Paris, Dumb and Dumber, Crocodile Dundee, Journey to the Mystery. I mean, over 40 years, but obviously, believe it or not, your breakout role is in Carlito's Way.
Oh yeah,
Pachanga.
Oh,
Sometimes it bees like that.
That's right.
What was it like the last time Al Pacino played a Latino with Scarface? You know, what was it like when you got that role for Carlitos, where you was like, "Coño, yo, this is gonna be fucking, this is epic right here. This is the city. This is the time." You know, what was that like when you got that role, and how did you get that role?
Well, bro, it's funny how it happened. So the night before I was audition, my brother's team and cousin Eric came over to my apartment, and they were hanging out Times Square Park, over, and they found this leather jacket, bro. This leather jacket, all these zippers, and it was like, oh shit, that's a character, and it's like that's something Pachanga would wear. So they gave it to me, and I wore that jacket to the audition. So I went in, and I started reading my lines, and Brian De Palma, he starts cracking up. And I'm like, oh, shit, fuck, Did it, I got in, I got out. By the time I got home, machine, the light was going on and off, and it was Bonnie Timmerman who was casting them. And I knew before my agent, and she said, yo, Papa, you got to out of Pachanga. And that's how it happened. And, I didn't know how it was going to turn out or nothing like that. But, Edwin Torres wrote it, the New York State Supreme Court judge, pretty badass, a very eloquent writer, Boricua. I did 2 movies that of 2 of his books, Carlito's Way and Q&A. And so when I got that role, bro, for one, I'm like, I didn't think about Al Pacino, from Scar. I thought about Al Pacino from Dog Day Afternoon and Serpico. So, Dog was badass.
That was a badass movie, bro.
So.
Serpio, when he's the cop that gives in the other cop, and they set him up. That was a mean.
Oh yeah, bro.
Movie.
But let me tell you, man. I was nervous because here I am working with my idol, and I had to call one of my boys, because table reading. I said, yo, and my boy said it the best. He said the best thing. He said, Papa, you grew up in this shit. You know, like you know what it tastes like. And you have the steering wheel, take it and go. And that was the best advice anybody ever gave me. And so, I did, and we had a great cast, John Leguizamo,
I mean, Benny Blanco. Benny Blanco played one of the Benny Blanco played one of the coldest roles in the universe. That was Benny Blanco from the Bronx, bro.
Yo, and I know Benny Blanco was still looking over his back every fucking day.
Yo, so listen, so Louis, I learned from movies. In one of my favorite movies is with Chaz Palmieri, Bronx Tale.
Oh yeah.
And when he tells Calogero keeps chasing this guy who owes him $12 or whatever. He said, look at it this way. You got rid of that guy for $12, right? So I learned, you know, when I got shot one time, I was bullying a guy that owed me like $10, and I had a bunch of money. You know, I was hustling, and I kept bullying him. And one day he turned on me because he was scared of me and shot me twice. And so from Carlito's way, I learned that if a young kid is the next one up, you show him a little love when he says, yo, call your fat Joe, what's up, my brother? Yo, what's going on? Yo, what's up? You know, yeah. I felt like Benny Blanco, all he wanted was that acknowledgement from Carlito. But Carlito was so arrogant because he was the big dog. He was like, yo, man, I ain't saying shit to this guy. But every now and then, you got to embrace the ones coming up. And I think that was Carlito's mistake.
Yeah, because, you know, the mistake, too, is like, Carlito was old school, and Benny Blanco was the new school coming up. So just like you say, you know, there was no love and stuff. You know, that young guy, he couldn't take the risk. You know, it means putting a plug in you. That's what he's going to do, because now he's making a name for himself. You know, it's a shame that it has to be that way. He's that way.
And you told him. You said, Carlito, we got to kill this guy. It's a dangerous guy. Let's kill him. He said, nah. And that was his demise.
We would have been up to Carlito's weight 12 right now. He would have listened to me.
You would have just kept going with it.
You would have been in there somewhere, Joe. Been there.
You know, I was mad, right? I was mad, Louis. Because you know our brother Mark Anthony, our sister J-Lo, I honestly believe I gave him the idea to do the cantante, me. Because when it was the style of wear these shirts with a person's face on it. I mean, for a whole fucking year while Lean Back was #1, I would wear Hector Lavoe's face on my shirt all the time. MTV Awards, wherever. And I remember I get in a conversation with them, and Mark Anthony was like, you see, I tell you that Hector Lavoe's the man. He's telling J-Lo all that, right? One day we hanging out. Next thing you know, they make the movie. I said, damn, man, I could have been a fucking doorman. Something in that motherfucker. Like, I wanted a bartender. I could have lit somebody a cigar just to be a part of that. And so you know, you played so many roles. I want to say, so when I first, because I was young, and you know, we got Tony Montana tattooed on our arm, the whole Terror Squad got it, right? So when Carlito's Way first came out, I liked it, but didn't love it. Because I was thinking it's going to be Scarface shooting 1 million people. And then as years went on, I saw the beauty of the movie and was like, oh my God, this is one of the most amazing movies of all time. You know, once you get off the shoot 'em up, bang back aspect of it, and you really get into the movie, it's one of the most beautiful movies ever done. I want to go into Traffic, because I've always had the greatest crush on Catherine Zeta-Jones. I've always what was that like? Traffic, doing Traffic with Don Cheadle. I mean, you worked with some of the biggest heavyweights, but that movie right there, Frankie Flowers, all that. What was that like?
Well, #1, Catherine is a wonderful human being. She was really sweet. You know, I was thrilled to work with her. She's a very beautiful woman.
Is she banging in person, Louis? That's all I want. You know, you see a girl on Instagram, she might look good. You see her in person. Is Catherine Zeta banging in person? Is she looking like, holy shit?
She's naturally beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, but the thing is, you know, working with Don Cheadle, bro, let me tell you something, bro. Don and I, we never talked about our scenes. We would go in, we would tell our director, Steve Soderbergh, yo, let's just shoot it. We wouldn't even rehearse the shit. And then we end up improvising half the scenes and stuff like that. So we had a great chemistry, you know. I love that movie. I love the whole story. You know, working with También Benicio was in it. You know, so we had really good representation in that story.
Man, that was an amazing story, and I can see how y'all did that. It's similar to like nowadays. At first, I didn't, but nowadays when I record music, I don't even want to listen to the music. I don't want to. I want to go in the studio and then play the music and let me come up with the song on the spot, like improvise and get fresh ideas. And you know, it might be shit me and you talking about, and I'll go up to the studio. We play the music, and I'm just all in there. I don't want it like the art to be premeditated. So you guys are like, yo, I know you, you know me, you know what we're supposed to do here. Let's go off the top.
Yeah, and that's what we did. That's what we did with all of our singers.
Salute the OG, man. Salute the OG. Hold on. I got to salute the OG.
Bless up. Nah, that's
DJ, that's a legend. Yeah, Lou, I think he trying to look like you, bro. This guy stole your look, man.
I ain't gonna lie. I told my agent, like, how come we ain't do no movie together yet? Me and you together, I'm telling you, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big.
I'm ready, baby.
Listen, the dialogue with me and you back and forth going at it's gonna be big. I'm telling you. Fat boy swag and all that. You know what I'm saying?
And as long as we survive at the end, we're fucking good, y'all.
We'll do part 12.
Nah, I just want to send my love, brother, man. Happy holidays. God bless you. Congrats on everything. You know what I mean? Boricua.
That's right, baby. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Louis, man. You know, I broke in this house and did the show from his house, you know?
Joe, this is what I want to tell you, Joe. I got to tell you some things, Joe. So first of all, I'm really proud of you, man. Some time ago, you posted something about your son, you know, and your son and spoke about his autism and stuff, you know. And I want to tell you, bro, that really touched me, man. I was really proud of you for that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, you know, we could be entertainers and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, we are a real person. We are men. We are fathers. You know, and you really touched me. You know, when you spoke about your son, and I'm happy that you did that.
Well, you know,
too, we're like regular people.
You know what happened, Lou, is that, you know, my son, I always try to protect him because I chose this life of being a public figure. You know, I got to have thick skin. If people talk about me or disrespect me in any way, you know, my son is autistic and we love him and we raised him my whole life. And that's one thing I can't do is handle people disrespecting my family or anything like that. So that's why I've always been private with my son. But I know there's a bunch of parents out there that are suffering from the same things and going through the hard things. It's not easy having an autistic son or daughter, you know, and a lot of people run away from it. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's crazy, Lou, and I know people get mad at me. Well, the other side get mad at me, but you know, when he was born, his mother said to give him to adoption that she couldn't raise him. And my mother and father was like, fuck that, he's ours. And so we raised little Joey. And let me tell you something, this kid's the happiest kid in the world. All he knows is love. All he knows is we show him nothing but love. This guy smiles 24 hours a day. Like, all he does is smile and have fun. But, you know, it's a real heartbreaking story with my son because, you know, he's never had no, you know, the door's always been open for his mother or he got brothers and sisters to see their brother or whatever the case may be, and they really chose not to support him. So the only thing that bothers me when I look at Joey is because he got everything he needs, but the only thing that bothers me with him is like, damn, man, his mom's never ever saw him again. You know, his brothers and sisters, you know, it's supposed to be one of them to cross the line and be like, yo, that's my brother. Can I see him? You know what I'm saying? So it's so in a way, he's not lonely because we give him all the love and all the warmth. But that's what bothers me when it comes to him is, you know, and just the feedback is so many parents hit me up, so many parents, and you know, I think I got to do more for like autistic kids. You know what I mean? I think I gotta do more, because what happens is once they become adults, so-called adults, but you still got to take care of them. Once the school is over and you try to take them to any type of program so they can talk to other kids, they're dirty. They're like, you know, and so pretty much they all wind up staying home where they don't have a place to socialize with other autistic, you know, young adults. You know what I mean? So that's something in the back of my mind. Shout out to Sexy Steph. Her son is autistic, and she's been drilling that in my head as well. And a lot of parents hit me up in the DM and everything. It's Joe, you know, my kid is autistic. And Stephanie Mills, her son just wrote a book. He's autistic.
Yeah, there you go.
And he's so beautiful, you know. And so I guess when you got that, you know, when I see another autistic kid, you know, my heart just, you know, loves. You know, that's one thing where you can catch Fat Joe off guard and love, because I know what I deal with my son. And when I see another autistic kid and somebody says, take a picture, immediately the smile comes to my face. I embrace the kid. I think weird too, like maybe the kid knows I got a kid that's autistic. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, and I also, I don't know, you know, this show that I have 5 kids, I adopted 4 of them, you know? So, you know.
That is amazing.
So as fathers, you know, you with an autistic son and me with 4 beautiful adopted kids and my daughter Luna, you know, like I said, man, we're good people, bro. We're good people. You know, we had to learn things, man. We had to learn a lot. But, you know, we took on the task, you know, and we done the best that we can, you know?
You know, I don't know if you know, I started this show with a Gran Combo. Right? Tu me hiciste brujería. Every black family heard that motherfucker at 6 in the morning next door from the Puerto Rican family. Who are some of your favorite salseros and why?
Well, first of all, definitely way up there, a Gran Combo, you know, Cheo Feliciano. Let me tell you, Mark Anthony, I don't think a day goes by that I don't listen to one of his songs. You know, and plus, that's our brother. You know.
You know, he called me on here on my birthday. I celebrated my birthday. He came on and I was groupied out. I couldn't believe Mark Anthony was on the Fat Joe show, and that's our brother. Yeah. You know, he's that serious,
bro.
Right, Louis?
Bro, years ago, he showed up with the band to a club. Buddies were celebrating my birthday party. He showed up with the band and they played for 2 hours in New York years ago. That's a brother there, you know. Hector Lavoe, you know, I love Hector Lavoe. You know, my favorite Puerto Rican singer of all time, I gotta say, is Danny Rivera, because that man's voice is an instrument and he's beautiful, you know. So yeah, bro, but you know, man, you just put out some salsa music, I'm on the dance floor. That's it, brother. We're done.
That's right. Let me ask you a question. So Casa Delas, you know, with Lower East Side, we gotta talk. You know, Jimmy's Cafe's out. Jimmy's our brother, right? Jimmy is, that's it. His home team brother, 1,000,000%. And then from the Lower East Side, it's Casa Delas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I knew the lady, man, she rests in peace. Every time I'm in New York, I go there. What are your favorite Latino restaurants in New York?
Well, definitely Casa de la, definitely Jim. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's pretty much the only 2 I go to.
Me too.
That's all I need. That's all I need.
Me too. Me too. And in LA, I always go to this Joy Cuban restaurant called Floridita, where they got salsa on Mondays.
Yeah.
You been there before?
Hell yeah, bro. But there's also another place called Mambo's in Glendale, Cuban restaurant, badass.
Oh man, I gotta go there because I go Floriditas. Let me tell you something. They have the softest roasted chicken you ever ate in your life in that Florida. It falls off the bone. And them beans are serious. And they dancing salsa, man. Shout them out. Yo, Louis, I love you, man. I thank you for coming on here.
Thank you.
We worship you. We proud of you. And we see you. We see you, man.
My love.
Remember that.
And my love to the family. Un abrazo, and we'll be in touch, pa.
I will. I love you, Louis, man. God bless you, man.
Thank you, pa.
Peace, my brother.
Peace out.
Man, God, this guy trying to make me cry. You don't know who I know? You don't know who I know. This man trying to make me cry. Fuck. He almost had me there. Jerry Maguire moment. Fuck Jopra. You know, Louis Guzman, man. It's a living legend. Pachanga. Boricua. Al Lindstrom, what's up? Manuel Lewis, what's up? Oh, wow. I mean, and this guy means so much to the game, to the culture. And we got to preserve this guy. You know, guys like this, we got to protect these guys. These guys are monuments. These guys are like pillars of the community, people we got to protect. You know, this is the big show. You right, Emmanuel? This is the biggest show in the game.